There you go.
There we go. We're on. We're live. Hi, Cookbook Love family. It is Friday, and I am Declan DeWitt Hall, and this is my beloved wife, Suzanne. We are here another week for another installment of
Cookbook of the Week.
And hat.
And hat of the week. Okay. Hat of the week is another pink little number. It turns out I have like at least 3 pink hats. This one is covered in sequins, so it is exceedingly fancy. And you'll see it's got these nice bands of satin all the way around, 3 of them, and in between each one are more, it's another strip of these sequins. So there's sadly no markings on the inside. I got to put it on the right way. I think I've mostly figured out this hat positioning situation, but it's feeling like a very fancy little special event hat, I think.
It looks lovely. You look fantastic.
Why, thank you. You're looking dapper yourself. I like that kind. But anytime you see sequins, I figure it's probably some kind of a special event hat. But there you have it. I was almost out of hats. I had to go on eBay and grab a couple more because I was down to my last few hats, which was very sad.
Now we have several weeks.
Several more weeks will be good. I think 9. Ready for the cookbook?
We are. Let's do it.
Cookbook of the week is this little guy. It's called Cut Up Cake Party Book.
It's tiny.
It's tiny. It's a little paperback, only that thick. There's the back cover. And it was produced by Bakers. Let me see if, I don't know if that's chocolate. Bakers, which is the brand, sub-brand under General Foods, in 1973. And it lists a few trademarks. Bakers, which I know they make chocolate.
They do.
If nothing else. Angel Flake, Cut-Ups, Swansdown, and Calumet, which is a baking powder.
Oh, yeah.
Swansdown is a flour. And Cut-Ups, though, they have as listed as a trademark. So I think they took this idea of cutting up a cake and decorating it. You can see the example there of the little bear. And they trademarked the word Cut-Ups, which is kind of surprising that you would be able to do that. So this, when you first look at it, you would assume that this is a children's book because of these illustrations and the large, this large text. But it says, party time is cake time. Not just any cake, but a super wow of a cake, the cut-up cake.
Well,
for a perfect party, go to the cut-up routine. And it says, these whimsical, wonderful cakes are not just for children, but for everyone, etc., etc. And then there's some cake basics, and it tells you to use your favorite recipe and what size. Some initial instructions about looks like the gingerbread man running away. Paste the pieces together with frosting, and then there's this section. Look at the font handling. I know it's backwards, but classic 1970s fonts there, and the color, that bright yellow, which matches Pedro back there. That's Pedro. This says, how do you feel about parties? The title of this section is The Perfect Party Plot. How do you feel about parties? Exhausted and defeated at the very thought of entertaining, or ready and eager at the slightest excuse? So it goes on with a bunch of tips about how to throw a party, and it's saying that the cake is the centerpiece to any good party.
I agree.
Do you?
Well, because I like cake.
Well, what's
No,
not
it depends if there's pizza there.
Pizza is pie, so it doesn't really qualify, does it? It's not.
Have we made cut-up cakes?
Yeah, when you do an Easter bunny.
The Easter bunny one, I think. That's the only one I can think of.
Well, this one, check this out. So this is the airplane cake. It looks pretty impressive to me. This is the first cake they show us. And again, look, check out that font. Very iconic font there.
Wow.
But this says Destination Monte Carlo. Join the jet set and pretend to spend an evening at Monte Carlo.
Wow.
Invitations can be made from an old deck of cards. Staple an itinerary sheet to each card, giving a time, place, and description. Each guest is given an envelope of play money. It says set up tables for cards, roulette, dice. I don't know how you could do roulette, but it does say to borrow a pinball machine from your kids.
Wow, that's one heck of a cake party.
Yeah, and apparently you have your own roulette wheel, but you have to borrow a pinball machine from your kids.
From your kids.
So,
Because that's what the kids have in their bedroom.
Everyone has a pinball machine. I think small ones are like pachinko.
I remember those tiny little ones.
Yeah. But, so this was the first cake, and wait till you see the complexity of this thing, because each recipe shows you how to cut up the cake. But look at this. Look how many pieces there are. And then you're supposed to stick it together like this, and all of these little tiny chunks are going to hold up, theoretically, to the frosting, which I think is hilarious.
Okay, I have to put on my glasses for this.
You have to see how ridiculously how complex that cake is.
Wow.
I mean, it's cute when it's done, but I'm guessing it's like episodes of Nailed It, or you know that show.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine these on that show.
This cake,
I like this one,
is called the Beautiful Balloon, and the idea is that it's a welcome home if someone's been traveling. But the funny thing about this picture is, look at these little figures, these little dolls they have sitting in this balloon. So it's very cheerful, and then it's kind of this touch of surreal reality in the characters, and they remind me a little bit of It's a Small World in Disney World, which freaks me out.
which I love. I love it.
Freaks me out. Okay, then speaking of being freaked out, here's this clown cake, which is reasonably terrifying, I think. I mean, the expression, perhaps it's the eyes, because the mouth is smiling, but the eyes, I mean, clowns tend to be scary anyway, and that whole movie, when it came out, kind of regenerated the clown fear. So, I don't know. Okay, this guy. All right, here, we've moved on to Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
This one's called the Perky Turkey. Now, does that look like a turkey to you guys? I don't know how. I don't think that's actually a turkey.
Well, I think there's only so much you can do with a knife and a cake.
Did you see that airplane? I think there are no excuses.
So you're saying they got lazy on their turkey cake, but elaborate on their airplane.
Exactly. I think that Tracy just asked if there's a unicorn. I will let you know when we finish. And someone else is asking how big the finished cakes are. They typically are starting from either 2 round layer cakes or one
sheet cake.
One sheet cake. In this case, there's a Raggedy Ann, and you can see it looks like it's 1 layer cake and 1 square cake. So for each one, they show you what you're going to need. But typically, I think it's like 1 cake mix, and they do have cake mixes in the beginning. And so the final one we'll show you is this one called Woofy Dog, because it's cute, and because it kind of looks like Snoopy, and kind of looks like our Wire Fox Terrier a little bit. He's Mr. Woofy Cake. So yeah.
There is no unicorn cake?
I'm not sure. I didn't see one yet. I think unicorns weren't big in 1973. Let me see. I mean, unicorns should always be big.
So this is what I think Tracy should do. She put the comment. I think Tracy should make a cutout unicorn cake.
Yeah.
And share pictures with all of us.
Truth. You should indeed.
And show us Graham eating it and tasting it. The whole story of the unicorn cake.
So here's the deal. When I've posted a few of these, Tracy will have an idea of how to do this. Create a unicorn. Maybe there's you might be able to work from the dog and figure out a place to put the horn. But, so there you have it. It's the cookbook of the week. It's a party. I have my fancy party. This is a very fancy party where the cut-up cake would probably be something like a bouquet of roses. Oh, didn't you have
tough?
I never had fancy cakes when I was little, and I'm a little upset by that.
When I was young, the thing was Barbie cakes.
Barbie cakes that looked kind of like
the dress.
And they look like the things that you put, like toilet paper holders in bathrooms, except in cake form.
Right.
Yeah, crocheted cake.
It didn't throw me.
Barbie cake.
Would you like a Barbie cake?
No, not really, because you'd have to wash her off and all that. Unless there's a method for keeping her. Maybe a sticker.
Because you want to keep the Barbie.
Well, clearly. Maybe you have to use one of your own Barbies. Anyway, I don't think there's a Barbie cake in here because I think it's not the same idea as the cut-up cake where you're creating all these artful decorations yourself. But
so there you have it. We'll be sharing. Let them eat cake is what's coming to my head. I like cake. So we'll be sharing from, or Suzanne will be sharing from this cookbook all week. Share any of your recipes or thoughts on cut-up cakes.
What's the fanciest cake you ever made?
Oh, I'd like to see that. Share pictures, and let's just talk cake this week.
It's cake time.
So we'll see you next week, Cookbook Love family. Have a great week.
Take care.